U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Clark. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there and a first down. The Vikings at 6-1 now through 7 weeks of the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They'll run on first down. It's Clark. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 4. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Oregon. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
On first down, it's Clark. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Walton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Addison will go in motion left. Completes this to Addison out left. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. Now they send a man in motion right. Off play action. Novak. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Daniel Bellinger, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
First down, Houston.
Now the first carry here for their running back. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Yeah, look at this defense for the Vikings. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. 2nd and 6. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go, because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Viking 7, Oilers 0.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Houston.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He finds his man, complete. That's Price. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They're going to look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Oilers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Off the play fake. Novak.
Well, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Off play action. Novak. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Addison will go in motion left.
Back to throw again.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. What a play. The big man comes up with the interception. Puts together, Charles, a nice little return, too.
Yeah, he's not going to make anybody forget Darrell Green or Rod Woodson, but look at him lug that thing. He decided it was his. A lot of people might have thought about lateraling it there. No shot. Trying to take it the distance.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Clark. And a nice spin into some open field. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
50 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. Off the play fake. Novak sliding out of the pocket, and he fires one incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Second and 10.
Back to throw. Novak. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here's Bryce Behringer on now to punt.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they'd place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he stopped immediately there. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Looking to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
It's a game of 6. 1st down, Oilers.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now the offense going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2.
He'll look to throw.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This 2nd and 4.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Running left to give to Pacheco.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a 2nd and 6. They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. So nothing doing there. That's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Looking to throw. Novak escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat. And if he flushes out, they're fine with that. And they force another incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Walton. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. That pass taken in by Addison. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. They'll run on 1st down. It's Clark. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 9.
Back to throw. Novak. He finds his man, complete. That's Walton. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On first down, it's Clark.
And down to the 41.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun, Novak. He finds his man, complete. It's Walton. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
They'll run on first down. Clark. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 2.
He finds his man, complete. That's Walton.
And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Looking to throw. Novak. He finds his man, complete. That's Clark. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
Come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Here's a quick throw caught out wide.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game.
Here now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Third down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. They'll try to run this one in, and I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. Fourth quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good. Here it is, 4th and goal. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the ball will go over on the goal line stand. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand. Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
2nd and 5. Pacheco gets it and tries the left side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now a handoff as they run left side. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
This is 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick six, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick six?
Chase McLaughlin set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory.
Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for Houston, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons.